Hello and welcome to Zambia. Today my name is Faith Matai. CHIPEMBI Girls Boarding School, founded in 1926 and run by the United Church of Zambia, is one of Zambia's oldest girls' secondary schools. It was the country's first girls' boarding school, promoting girls' education through literacy, life skills, and basic health care. To date, many prominent women held high positions in Zambia are the products of CHIPEMBI Girls Secondary School. Notable among these are Justice Flores Loba, Justice Lombe Chibesakunda, and Lily Monze, to mention but a few. Today on the program, we are honored to talk to the son to the missionary, Mr. Reverend Douglas Gray, who was actually the founder in 1926. So the son is here to actually tell us about how the school, tell us about the history of the school, the challenges and its early years of establishing this school, and the enduring impact of the mission that continues to inspire nearly a century later. Mr. Gray, welcome to Zambia today.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. It brings back a lot of memories.
Just to begin with, tell us, what was really the idea of your father building a girls' boarding school then?
Well, my father wrote, actually in 1918, he said, "It is not sufficient in these days to say to a missionary, all you have to do is to save souls. The mind must be elevated and the body redeemed." Yes. So there are three aspects of it. And first of all, the first need is the uplift of the mind, and it must be accomplished by education. And part of that is you have to learn to read. Now, if you're going to read, you've got to have a language that you can read. So my father, along with the Reverend Machedi, took the Winnemekunya language and put it into vernacular form, in a fruit form, and from that they translated into texts for the schools and also the New Testament of the Bible. So that was the first part of the mind, but also involved in that was the agriculture. He says the crux of the uplift under this head of mind is one word: agriculture. At present, they have no permanent gardens. Traditional gardens were slash and burn and move on. So the first CHIPEMBI girls started gardens, and out of that grew the CHIPEMBI College of Agriculture, which is due to my father's foresight as well. The second great need is the redemption of the body. Our hospital was needed for CHIPEMBI. So funds were raised and approved for a hospital in CHIPEMBI, but unfortunately the Great Depression came in, so it never came to be. But my father's second daughter, Audrey, he wanted her to be a doctor, to come back to CHIPEMBI. So after their mother died, she and her sister were sent to England to finish their schooling, and Audrey Gray became a doctor that came back. And she started a clinic, as her mother had also had a clinic in CHIPEMBI. And the eldest daughter became a nurse. So an interesting thing is that both of my sisters had their early schooling in CHIPEMBI Girls Boarding School. We have a photograph there of the girls in the front of the class, with the girls on this side and the boys on that side. Because it was a mixed class at that time. And in the background is the headmistress, Dorothy Hicks, who eventually became my mother. So it's a continuing saga with Greg. The third great need is essentially spiritual, which is why the missionaries came. And they said, we need evangelists who will be apostles to the people. And that's what they did. My father, she trained evangelists. And Shimwai's father, I believe, was trained by myself. When in fact, Dr. Shimwai's older sister is named Dorothy after my mother. So that is another connection. I have construed everything. My father also identified a fourth great need when he said, and this is the whole background of it, it has been truly said that as no stream can rise higher than its source, no people can rise higher than the level of their women. Consequently, no Christian work can ever be permanent that fails to lay hold of the women and girls of the people, transform their lives. And that is what CHIPEMBI Girls Boarding School is about, is transforming the lives of the girls so that they can go out. So the seed is about that I would agree with.
At the time, the girls' education was widely prioritized. Why did you believe it was so important to invest in educating young women?
Why you did. There's no people can rise higher than their women. So you can't have a height achieved if you don't educate your women. So that is what he said on that.
So now, what's some of the developments that are underway at this school?
We have primary education, of course. We have secondary education, and you have tertiary education, what we in Canada call postgraduate. That is part of the expansion of education of women, is going from primary to secondary, and perhaps in the future, with assistance from the church and from the governments and from public, we can go to the tertiary education in the CHIPEMBI milieu with women.
What values and skills every CHIPEMBI girl should live with?
I'd like to see them, of course, with the education and the confidence to go out there and find their place in the business world, in the industrial world, whether it's on the mines or in the industrial plants or in business settings or in hospitals or in schools or universities. Wherever there is, there's nothing there that really belongs to men or women. There's no reason why the women shouldn't be educated and learn to do the same work. If not the same, perhaps better.
Now let's listen to a clip where we are going to feature the grandson to Reverend Douglas Gray, who was a founder of CHIPEMBI Girls Boarding School, and we are also going to listen to a clip of the former CHIPEMBI girls. Enjoy.
Thank you. I'm Malcolm Gray. I'm the son of Harry Gray, and then the grandson of Reverend Douglas Gray, who founded CHIPEMBI. Growing up, I never got to meet my father. He passed away before I was born, but I would hear the stories about CHIPEMBI, the school that he founded and so forth. Well, they were just stories to me at that time. This is the first time I've actually been able to visit the school and see the tremendous work that's been put into it and what it has become, and it's quite humbling to see how far it's grown and how many girls and women it's touched over the years. And with my father, we've already established a scholarship, and I've begun to think about my legacy in future as how I can continue to support and grow, taking the school to the next level and beyond.
My name is Susan Scanetta, Ambassador Susan Scanetta. I was at CHIPEMBI from 1963 to 1967, where I completed my Form 5 and then went to the University of ZAMBIA. Today we are really very, very grateful to God for this beautiful opportunity of having Reverend Douglas Gray, the one who founded CHIPEMBI Girls Secondary School, way back in 1920s. His son, Harry Gray, and his grandson, Malcolm Gray, are here with us this week to come and see where their father came to found the school and to interact with us, the CHIPEMBI girls. And so on behalf of my fellow CHIPEMBI girls, we are in thousands who have gone through that school. We really want to thank the Lord for this opportunity that God gave to Reverend Gray almost 100 years ago, next year. We are so delighted because their father had a great vision. He had compassion and love for girl children those days who were not going to school, and they decided to found CHIPEMBI Girls Secondary School. My mother was one of the first girls who attended that school, together with other girls. And my mother was the first girl to pass Standard 6 in 1934, together with others who were there at that time. So what I can say about the legacy that Reverend Gray left is something that really make us sing a song and make us praise God and want to do the best that we can. Because through the legacy that Mr. Gray left, a lot of women have passed CHIPEMBI Girls School. A lot of women have contributed a lot to the development of this country, Zambia, and to the advancement and upliftment of women who have really contributed tremendously to the growth of this nation.
Welcome back. In case you have just joined us, you are watching Zambia Today. On the program, I'm privileged to interact with the son to the missionary, Reverend Douglas Gray, the founder of CHIPEMBI Girls Boarding School. I'm actually interacting with the son. His name is Harry Gray. Mr. Gray, we continue with the program. Looking at the generation of women who have passed through this boarding school, what impact makes you most proud?
I'm amazed and really gratified that my father was able to provide a wherewithal where these young women could come into ladies up and hold their own in the rest of the world, not just in Zambia, but represent Zambia to everybody else. I think it's magnificent.
Education has actually changed significantly, and how do you think CHIPEMBI has remained relevant while preserving its founding values?
Well, I think that's in the quality of the head of the school and the staff that he has. But in fighting great odds in getting supplies, equipment, and everything that they need. Because CHIPEMBI is not a government-funded school, so that they have to charge fees and they rely on the fees and charitable donations. And this is why, for instance, that we've recently set up a memorial scholarship in the name of my father for girls to go to university or college, those who need it. So that the school is continually trying to get input from outside the community and the governments and everybody else so that they can expand and get everything they need. And it's a hard fight.
How does it make you feel that actually your father was one of the founders of this the boarding school?
It makes me feel humble and proud. And here was a man who was my father, who was able to have the vision, plan what is now being achieved, can be planned for the future.
What is your hope and prayer for the future of this school, that the generation of girls will continue to learn at this school?
I hope that the school is able to expand and get more up-to-date with the things that they need. And then I also hope that they will spread the word so that their boarding and the daughters of their friends. Zambians, as art, also do. I believe CHIPEMBI has already an attract sent to all schools elsewhere in Africa, and that they to come here to Chipembi to see how they do. It's like what the new cop say. That I think speaks for itself, because that is not only back to CHIPEMBI, but it's also party Zambia Chipola. I think that's good.
Mr. Gray, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Viewers, that's all we have for you on Zambia today. On behalf of the entire Zambia production team, this has been Faith. Good time. Right. See you next time.